another highly requested video with you today. And before anybody asks, this is my massive ant attack from a couple days ago when I was doing yard work. I guess some ants were farming some aphids on some leaves I was trimming, and they all toppled down on me and just attacked my entire front side. And there's a trick that one of my local friends shared with me, and it's to chew up some tantan, which grows everywhere here, and to apply it like a paste. And obviously it works because this was just 2 days ago. Jack Bud would like to know, what advice would you give to someone who is moving there from the States? I think this is an excellent question. It's one I get very often. And when I see people that don't make it very long term on island, I believe it's because they come with these star eyes or romanticized ideals of what they expect island life is going to be like. Because being on vacation mode is quite different than actually living here. I know it looks like paradise and feels like such, but you definitely have to work here as well, and oftentimes you have to hustle even harder. Increased hardships, sometimes there's very sparse employment, things are more expensive here. If you're willing to come with a strong work ethic and are adaptable to your surroundings and your environment, that is the formula for success. Matt wants to know, is St. Croix dangerous? Like, is it more dangerous than most US cities? VI Consortium is an updated resource that you can access online, and I also thought that Janelle's insight was very valuable here as well. Curly Girly wants to know if shipping furniture in from the States is better than buying new furniture on island. And this answer is very subjective, of course. For us, we moved here sight unseen with 3 bags between the both of us. But then again, we strive to live very minimally and sustainably, so this answer will definitely depend on what your outlook and lifestyle is. A lot of cottages here come all-inclusive and furnished, so that's an option for you. When it came to us, when we needed to swap out furniture, we would either thrift them. There are a couple flea markets or thrift stores here, not a ton, but you can also join Facebook groups, and as long as you're willing to bend on the aesthetic, or you're willing to just be patient and wait it out, you can score some deals. It can whittle down to comparing the costs of a freight forwarder or moving company's quote that you can reach out and contact online versus the cost of furniture here. And just like everything else, the furniture here brand new is a bit more expensive, but that's to be expected. Yuri wants to know about the best place to buy local produce. That would definitely be Southgate Farmers Market, which we used to be vendors at when we first arrived to island. And lately there's been a big congregation at the Ag Fair grounds. A lot of different farmers come and sell their wares, local in-season produce, so you can check that out on Saturday mornings, go early. You can reach out to local farmers here. There's an abundance of that. We love Newtopia Farms. And yeah, join Facebook groups. You can find out what's in season and find out where they're selling them at. Sometimes people set up on the side of the road, and definitely grow your own if you can, or if you're renting a property, make sure there's at least a mango tree, because I promise you it's the best mango of your life. Christiansted is often referred to as the Twin City, as we have Frederiksted Town on the west and Christiansted Town on the east. The east is a bit more arid and drier, and it has cacti that dot the landscape, whereas the west end we have a rainforest. That's where we live. It's a bit more lush and green. The median temperature year-round is about 80, though if you've lived here for a bit, you get acclimated to the temperatures, and the subtleties do strike you a bit. So I find myself cold in the winter that we have here, and during the Christmas time is what we have when we have trade winds that blow in and cool everything down, and it's a glorious breeze. I was just talking to my friend about it, who was born here, and she said that there's just a tangible magic in that breeze, and I couldn't help but agree. During hurricane season, which happens around my birthday, which is in September, it does rain a lot more, so that's something that you may want to consider when you're planning your visit here. Everyone drives left here. The steering wheel is still situated on the left, but you do have to drive left here, and it's something that even though we adjusted to well here, it's difficult to reroute when we go back to the States. So just keep that in mind and just be careful. If you take nothing else away from this video, keep in mind that greetings are so crucial, especially if you're just visiting. Say it with a big smile on your face and say good morning, good afternoon, good night. Just make sure you're not saying good morning in the afternoon or good night in the morning. This is not something that I had thought about, but was brought to my attention by some of you guys in the comment section. There are chickens everywhere. Some of them are wild, but most of them do belong to someone, but they kind of are free-range organic chickens. This tends to be a point of contention because there are no private beaches here. All beaches have public access and are available to the public. There are some beaches, of course, that are inaccessible by foot, so that is something to consider, but all beaches, for all intents and purposes, are public. Island hopping is facilitated by ferries and seaplane here, and I believe they now have a day trip directly to St. John as well. There are at least two distinct experiences that you can have when you come on island, and that can be a touristy one where you maybe don't even leave the resort, or you can have a realistic, very local experience where you culturally immerse yourself. And if you're in pursuit of the latter, have an open-minded palate. There's local food like goat water and sauce and roti and pate, and just culturally immerse yourself because we do have a rich tangle of history here. We are the largest of the 3 USVI, but we do speak English here, and there's English currency used here as well. Of course, there are all types of indigenous and fusion dialects, but most people will be able to converse with you in English. Most residential water is via cistern, and then in town we have desalinated plant water. I have touched on this several times before, but it is true. Power goes out frequently. Just this past week we had a bit of rain and wind, and power went out every single day for at least 30 minutes. So you learn to adapt and prepare. And there definitely are pockets when you're exploring the bush or even just random places on the island where you won't have data or cell service. I was just reminded by my girlfriend that you guys sprung forward, and I had completely forgotten about it, so there is no daylight savings here. Do keep that in mind when you're booking your tickets. I hope this video is valuable for you. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes, and you can catch up with me daily on Instagram at @asquishymonster.